I'm Kelvin, formerly known as my company is EK. I'm a phone engineer. I started this work as 2017 and now I'm already on my own now. I learned this work but I was still going to go to school. Not that I forgot about school, but I'm still going to go to school. But not now. I'm still going to do that. I'm planning it next year. I'll be going like part time and be doing this for the good of them. Well, I would advise everyone that it's not that school is not good. School is still okay, and work is still okay. But I want to advise for me, my own advice I can give anyone out there is that you can learn work, you can learn any hard work before going back to school. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. Because now look at me.
And then we began to talk. So they asked me several questions. The details of that and all those things, they are in an article on my website. I'll put a link in the description box for this video so you can read through it. It's something I've shared a lot, and since then I've evolved. I've written some other people again about why parents need to stop letting Nigerian schools cheat them and their children. You need to stop that. Many of you are just allowing Nigerian schools to pull you by the nose, take your money and waste your time. Your child finishes from their schools, your child cannot function outside in society. What's the point? You finish from school and you're still looking for help, going out to get learning skills for 3 months and 6 months to feed yourself, and yet you have this degree from some university, or you finish secondary education and you got some, finish some A levels, and at the end of the day you still can't function in society. What's the point? Schooling is supposed to prepare you for success in life. If it doesn't do that, there's a problem, and I'm living proof of it with all my records, all my academic brilliance, everything. I was borrowing money from organizer to fuel my car. There's a problem with that. The fact that a person cannot finish from the so-called higher institution and come into the real world of the society and begin to flourish, that there's a problem with that. That's stupid schooling. It's like saying that a person went to swimming school, right, and finished from swimming school but cannot swim. If you went to driving school, finished from driving school but cannot drive. There's something wrong with that. If you don't think there's something wrong with that, there's something wrong with you. So I'm calling out the education system in Nigeria. I'm calling out those running the schools in Nigeria. What you are doing is not working. With very few exceptions, your institutions are a waste of time. And I say this as a parent, and I say this as a product of your school system. I had to reinvent myself to function in a reliable manner as an income earner to support my family. Outside paid employment, take notes of that. Outside paid employment. Because paid employment does not require you to prove so much. The minute you get the job you are in, that's why people can cut corners and bribe people to get the job. When they get in there, they can, they just keep marking time. It doesn't matter how badly they do, they have the connection, they stay in anyway. That's why you go to companies, you have to interact with some of the employees in there, they misbehave and nothing happens to them. They collect bribe, nothing happens to them. So I'm not talking about paid employment, because those people in paid employment have to retire. They will retire or they will get sacked one day. Then when they come into society, that is when we know what kind of education they got and how good it can be for a person to survive. Because if your education, and by the way, there's a difference between schooling and education. I'll talk about that in a separate video. So when I'm talking about education, education is the outcome of the schooling you have gotten. So whatever you get, you end up with when you come out of the school system is the education you've obtained. Okay. So what I'm saying is that Nigeria generally, in particular, world at large, the formal schooling system they have does not give the kind of education that prepares people to succeed in any reliable manner in maximizing their full potential in life as adults. So they don't know how to feed themselves. In particular, once you don't know how to make money to feed yourself, to sustain yourself, and to then build a family, if you cannot do that, your education has been useless. You've got to get education that enables you to do that. That's the most important thing. Without money, literally nothing will work for you in the world of living. Let's get real. So once your education does not teach you that, then it's rubbish.
The school system here, I'm not sure about America, but it's outdated.
It's outdated globally.
It's outdated globally.
The internet made it outdated because information is a commodity and the school system was built on memorization of information. Why do I have to do any math? I have a calculator on my iPhone that can give you any math.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I can ask Siri and Alexa in 2 seconds, they'll give me the answer. Who cares about the periodic table when I can tell you what, it's so uncomfortably outdated globally because it's predicated on memorization of information in a world where we have information at our fingertip within a second for zero cost, the whole thing's dead.
How do we fix it?
It's the parents' responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility to not buy into the self-esteem wrapped up in your child going to a top university. We don't need to boil the ocean. Parents need to make sure their kids are happy. If we all collectively actually gave a crap about the happiness of our children, it would fix itself. Unfortunately, we care more about the judgment of our contemporaries about what our children are accomplishing more than caring about our children. This is an issue of modern day parenting and insecurity and keeping up with the Joneses, not a school system problem.
Caring what other people think.
It is the devastation of our society.
Yeah, because so many people watching this will be like, no, you need a university degree. You need that to fall back on. What do you
Fall
say?
back on what?
Yeah.
Every company's not requiring a degree to get hired anyway. The greatest companies in the world, Amazon, Google, are no longer requiring degree anyway. So what are you falling back on? Now, you know, that's like saying you need to keep a horse on hand in case the car doesn't work. It's ludicrous.
It is ludicrous.
It is ludicrous.
Yeah.
And it's completely predicated on the framework that the parent grew up with, and more importantly, the judgment that their parents are putting on them or how they want to keep up with everybody else. Because the people that they eat dinner with at the country club on Sunday night, their daughter's going to the big university, and it's just ludicrous. It is sad. I'm a byproduct of parents that were strong enough to not care about what other people thought, which is why I'm happy. And I would like to use what the gift my parents gave to me as something that I communicate to the world, hopefully inspiring one parent to give that gift to their child.
Yeah, what do you say to that entrepreneur, that young entrepreneur at school, hating school, wanting to leave school, but has to stay at school? What do you say to them?
Enjoy the vacation, because you're going to work the rest of your life. 2, don't be a hypocrite. If you're such a tough guy or gal, stop taking mommy and daddy's money. If you're such an entrepreneur, go buy your own iPhone. Start practicing now. The quicker a child gets off a parent's payroll, the more likely they will be happy in life.